Welcome ladies and gentlemen to another epic clash on Total War Warhammer 2. Today we are back at another custom map battle, and today's map is called the Great Arena. This is a free-for-all map which is going to see some pretty bloody combat today, as we have the High Elves, we have the Lizardmen, we have the Orcs, and we also have the Empire coming for your entertainment to clash and come out and see who is the best free-for-all army on this field today. And I love the map. This is the Great Arena map. As I said, I'll make sure to link it in the description along with the Steel Faith mob which we are using to add in some extra units and also unlock these other factions. But yeah, I really love the map because it's just a nice little feel to it. You know, free-for-all always does feel like it is kind of like a Blood Bowl sport almost, where, you know, all these factions come together to see who will come out on top. And, you know, it's just a really nice setting. I also love the way that each side has their different like flag and color. So this is like the green side. Over here we have the pink side, or the black side on this side. It's just really cool. It's like a nice little addition. We also have a really cool position in the center so that people can fight over, or they can also push around these sides and go over the bridges and also fight there. So it's really a nice opportunity. There's plenty of ways to attack, and it does kind of keep to that free-for-all style. It'd be amazing one day if the modders ever got these like set alight and just shoot up with flames. That'd be so cool. Maybe every so often they can just like shoot up with flames, and if anyone gets caught there, they get died. That'd be really cool, because I feel like free-for-all will be a great opportunity to have like just mini games and just really interesting arena battles. So hopefully we will see that in the future. But yeah, as I said, we do have the High Elves Lizardmen, Empire, and the Orcs. So we'll run through some of the notable units for either side, and then we'll jump straight into the battle, as I want to go ahead and see how this one turns out. So obviously some of the strongest units for the High Elves are going to be these Phoenix Guard. They're going to be supported by some Gate Guard, which are a great kind of like, they're like an anti-large variant of the Sea Guard, which guard the Phoenix Gates. They're really good. And then we also have a Claw Bolt Thrower right there. We also have, you know, a nice little contingent of these Lore Masters and Sword Masters, and also more Phoenix Guard on this right side. And it does look like the forces of the High Elves are actually splitting up 3 ways, which is going to be interesting to see how that one pans out, whereas everyone else looks like they're kind of keeping together in this battle. Then for the Greenskins, we have on their front line some Savage Orcs. They're going to be supported by a Doom Diver Catapult. They're actually already getting attacked by a Frost Phoenix, which is nice. They also have a Giant and a Ragnarok, more Savage Orcs along with some Black Orcs back here, and a lot of cavalry. I'm surprised to see this many Savage Orc Boar Boys, but they are here, and they are here in force, and I again can't wait to see what these Black Orcs can do on the field of battle. Then as we make our way over to the third player, the Lizardmen player, we of course have a nice little Stegodon right there and some Carnosaurs. Lots of Carnosaurs actually. It seems like the meat of the Lizardmen army. We also then have some Saurus Spears, along with a nice little front line of Skink Cohorts. There's a lot of Skink Cohorts here, which the enemy can definitely take advantage of. I guess they spent a lot of their money actually on these Carnosaurs and all these other monstrous beings. Then we also have some Temple Guard, which are going to be holding up the front line. And we also have a Skink Priest of the Heavens, so some Nets and some Comets of Cassandora are going to be coming down for sure. And as we make our way over to the final army, the Empire, they're kind of clumped up at the moment, but I'm hoping they'll be able to form up in time. We have a Great Cannon, some Mortars, some just basic Empire swordsmen, but again, they do look really nice in blue. I definitely like this kind of colour uniform, looking very tasty indeed. Then as we go back, we have some great swords, along with another mortar, some gunners, and also some halberds, along with another great cannon. So a lot of artillery. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Empire player just sitting back and letting the enemy come to him. But I guess what we'll do is we'll get this battle started, and we'll go over and watch this little engagement right here, and see the Frost Phoenix starting off this battle. The Frost Phoenix is actually taking a lot of damage straight away, but is going to be descending, at least trying to stop this artillery from shooting, which is not a bad idea. Getting this artillery to at least stop shooting early on is smart, especially because these Frost Phoenixes is extremely tanky. This is obviously the stronger variant, and the main issue is whether it's going to rout or not. But even if it routs, it's not the end of the world, because you can simply just bring it back from routing. And all this time is going to allow the rest of the cavalry, the Silverhelms, who are currently making their way through the arena, to actually get up here and engage the Boar Boy Biguns. I'm not actually sure who's going to come out on top of this engagement. By the looks of it, the cavalry of the Orcs are actually doing really good right here. The Savage Orcs. What are they? They're armor piercing, which is really nice. And with the support of the rest of the army coming in, that's going to be deadly for this High Elf cavalry. And they're going to need to turn and get the hell out of here. Over on this far left side, we have the Phoenix Guard making their way up, and they're going to be holding the line, even though they are getting hammered by the Doom Diver catapults. The archers are coming in as well, doing lots of damage. But the Phoenix Guard look very ill-supported right now. Doesn't really look like they have a lot in the way of reinforcements. They are just simply going in alone with a couple gate guard behind them, which is going to be very risky. They could definitely lose a lot of men doing this. But this isn't a bad strategy. Don't get me wrong. I definitely feel like maybe doing it to this extent is a little bit crazy. However, I definitely don't think that kind of splitting up your forces to attack multiple people is such a bad idea. Because it allows you to kind of attack people on multiple fronts, giving you plenty of points in the battle. I mean, you can see Gennaku is definitely going up here with kill-wise, and he's only deployed a small amount of his forces. The Lizardmen army is also starting to engage. A lot of these skink javelin men are throwing off their throws right there. Throwing off their throws. I don't think that's quite English, but we'll run with it. And then we also have the Empire forming up a pretty sturdy new box, which is about to be ripped apart by the Lizardmen as they come flying in. I cannot wait until the blood and gore comes out for this, because the Lizardmen are going to rip some men apart. I just cannot wait to see them, how gory it is going to be with the Lizardmen and their dinosaurs and all their creatures. Like the Carnosaurs must cause a lot of damage. So they're going to be doing some nice hammer and anvils here, but they're not kind of overextending, which is something I like for the forces of the Lizardmen. They're committing their men, and now they're getting the hell out of there. They also have to be kind of careful, because there's also a nice High Elf army making their way over here. And the High Elf army is doing a smart decision here. They're kind of just holding off in the wings and letting the Lizardmen engage, so they can come up when all these guns are faced in a different direction. We do actually have the morale of this Carnosaur going down, as all the gunners do turn their kind of focus towards it and try and bring it down as best they can. How did the Phoenix Guard hold off? I mean, the Phoenix Guard have been broken now by the looks of it. Oh no, the Phoenix Guard managed to hold and do a nice amount of damage. Considering this was only 1/3 of their army, they definitely did a great job here. Especially now more reinforcements are turning up. I think a much stronger contingent of the High Elf army is now here. We have the Sword Masters. We obviously have the Sea Guard, along with, oh, that's a nice foot of court going down. Not doing too much damage. I mean, it did a nice amount of damage to these back units, but unfortunately missing these other units. Honestly, what needs to happen is some cavalry needs to come in. And I mean, I feel like if the High Elf player just committed both these two kind of contingents to his army, he would have ripped through this force from the Greenskins with pretty, like, a lot of ease, if I'm honest. Because the Greenskins look like they're kind of spent already. And they definitely have been, lost a lot of at least their infantry. They obviously have all these guys still left remaining. If we go back to the other fight on this side, as we do have a three-way fight, the formation for the forces of the Empire do look like their new box has been completely broken up. The artillery is coming in, and the archer fire. Oh, this is going to be brutal for the handgunners. You can already see so much of their HP just immediately drops, and now their numbers are going to start going down as well. This is a lot of archer fire coming in. They are going to turn there and start getting some good shots off on the Phoenix Guard, which is going to do some good damage. But I mean, then their days are numbered, that is for sure. A couple more volleys and them archers are going to be done for. And obviously we do have the entire Lizardmen army as well pushing in. These Saurus warriors, even if they are Saurus warriors with spears, are still extremely deadly. And we also even have some Temple Guard in here, which is just going to chew through the Empire swords. The Empire swords will stand no chance. Some great swords maybe will do something, but I can't imagine, with the support of the Carnosaurs, that even the great swords can stand up to the forces of the Lizardmen. Especially when we have Krokgar in the back silencing the artillery. It looks like the Lizardmen are going to rip through these guys. But again, the Lizardmen are last at the moment, which is very, very interesting. The Doomstream with his forces of Greenskins are doing the best. Oh no, and here we go. We get to see some beautiful High Elves fighting against the Black Orcs of the Greenskins. A true matchup of might, right? Very, very nice. I feel like the Greenskins are almost spent though. They've got a full strength for Ragnarok. They obviously have this artillery, but over here, actually, I guess maybe not. They actually do have a lot of cavalry left, and they seem like they've done a great job over dealing with these other forces, which kind of came into support. That's the Lawmaster gone. The rest of these Sword Masters are being run down by the cavalry. So I guess I was wrong there. I thought that reinforcement army would do a great job But I guess the Giant and the Arachnarok just didn't have many answers to silencing them from this field of battle. So I guess the Greenskins, once dealing with the rest of the Swordmasters, are going to be coming in to join whatever's left of this battle. Obviously, the High Elves still have some pretty strong units left, as we do have the Lizardmen now moving in over here. Oh, that was a really good charge. I don't think the Gate Guard have charge defense against large, but they are anti-large. So now that they've kind of taken that initial shock value, they didn't really take too much damage, which is kind of nice. You have anti-large. Oh, they do have charge defense. My mistake. It just looked like they went flying. But now that they've kind of silenced this charge, they should be able to deal with these Cold One Spear Riders pretty easy. And again, these Spear Riders are probably going to go out of control fairly soon. So I think that they've got a good engagement right there. The rest of the force, though, the Empire have just been ripped apart. I mean, they did a pretty nice job of score-wise, like of racking up a nice amount of kills, but they were just no match. I think they definitely needed an entire army of halberdiers, maybe, and greatswords to put up with the Lizardmen. Just because the amount of ferocious infantry that the Lizardmen brought to the field of battle. I mean, even their infantry is just running them through. And the greatswords, you know, the greatswords didn't seem like they had a chance against all these creatures due to the fact there wasn't like enough halberdiers supporting them. And obviously, please remember, guys, even though this is on Steel of Faith, this isn't using the Mortal Empires patch. So because of that, you know, there's probably going to be some balancing issues from all sides. But I feel like Steel of Faith would normally do a good job at these balancing, as we do see Kroq-Gar actually fighting the halberdiers here. Like, I'm sure a lot of the prices are going to be messed around with when Mortal Empires does come out in the next couple of days. Or actually, Mortal Empires could already be out by the time I'm uploading this. I'm not too sure. So all of this cavalry is going to be getting killed, and I just don't feel like the elves have done enough to really secure their place in this battle. They might have secured not coming last, but I don't think they're going to be able to kill enough of these soldiers. I mean, granted, we do have some of the Phoenix Guards still coming back and fighting this Carnosaur, but the morale for the Phoenix Guard is not great. But neither is the morale for the Carnosaur either, as he just rips apart one of the Phoenix Guards, swallows him and spits him back out. That's pretty brutal. Are the Greenskins making their way over now? They are indeed, yeah. The entire Greenskin army is making their way over. There are a few brave Sea Guards still left remaining, but I think they're going to be getting chased down and slaughtered by these savage Orc boy Biggins. It's only taken me a year to pronounce that right. And it's going to be useful because we're going to be starting a Belegar campaign on Mortal Empires. So if you guys are new to the channel and want to see that, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and go to the channel and find the Belegar playlist. It'll be towards the top of the channel. It's going to be really awesome. I can't wait for it. But enough of that. I'll leave that for the actual episode when it comes out. And yeah, we'll get back to this engagement. So it does look like the Lizardmen are just going to be chasing off. And I think the entire forces of the Empire have now been fully routed. You can see them running through the gates to escape off in this battle. And as you guys may know, that free-for-alls, when you do fully rout a unit, you do get the entire point for it. So when you see that skull and the flag, you get the full points for it. Whoever did the most damage to that unit, I believe, does get the full amount of points, which is really nice. So this kind of Carnosaur hasn't given away any points yet because it is still have a chance of coming back. But if it runs off a field, you know, I'm sure that the Phoenix Guard will get the full points of that. So I think now the High Elves are just going to fall back a little bit and try and encourage the last two kind of survivors, the Doomshroom and Deadman, to really go at it in this engagement. Because they look like they have the healthiest amount of units left, which is a real surprise. I thought the High Elves were ripping apart the Greenskins, but I guess not. The forces of the Greenskins have held their own, and I am extremely impressed. And I guess that is severely down to the High Elves just not committing enough men to that battle. You know, only sending in, you know, what, two quarters of their army, maybe 2/3 of their army. That was definitely come back to hurt them. And I feel like it was a gamble that just didn't quite pay off for the High Elves. But, you know, it's always good to test out new strategies in these battles. And the map itself looks glorious in the background. Just a really, really nice atmosphere. And yeah, the more custom map battles, the better. For sure, especially with free-for-all, because I feel like free-for-all definitely does lack the enjoyment for maps at the moment, only having fully fledged CA maps, which is a real shame. But yeah, as I said, I can't wait for custom map free-for-all sieges. That's going to be insane. And like, I imagine maybe they can even make it somehow where if you capture a point, you maybe get more points. Like a ticking set of points maybe could be a really, really cool system. I'm not sure if that's even possible, but if it is something that's possible, holy crap, that would be amazing. Like a King of the Hill free-for-all, where if you hold the hill, you get a bunch of points. That would just be so sick. And I mean, I really hope to the gods that one day that will be such a thing. So we'll speed it up as the greenskins do get over here. I think at the moment they're busy dealing with some routing units, trying to get some extra points. Because as you can see, this is really, really close. And everyone else is just forming up. I imagine the forces of the High Elves are actually getting pounded by this ancient Stegodon artillery right now. Yeah, they're currently just shaking it, but they do have these ballistas on top of it, which are going to be, you know, unleashing these pretty heavy bolts on the enemy. But the Lizardmen are going to have to be really, really careful. How many monsters do they have left? So obviously, they have Kroq-Gar at half health. They also have a bunch of these Stegodons. And then we got a Foot of Gork coming down right on top of these Lizardmen. But the Lizardmen are just so resilient. They can really just take it. And here we go. A nice little three-way finish to this battle as what remains of the Greenskins are coming in. I mean, if I was the Greenskins, I'd maybe wait for my forces to all be in one big go. We also have the High Elves coming in. Are the High Elves choosing to gang up with the Lizardmen? I think they are, because this is a Discord sent in battle. So when everyone was playing this battle, they were all talking to each other. So I think we're actually going to see the High Elves maybe teaming up with the Lizardmen, which is kind of cool. As the artillery comes in, we're going to get a nice little wind blast right there running through the front line. And then here we go. The Savage Orcs coming in, flying against the Lizardmen. Temple Guard. I mean, Temple Guard are not easily beaten back, that is for sure. And it does look like, oh, the Phoenix Guard actually routed from the field of battle. No! That's such a shame. It does look like the High Elves maybe made a little pact there with the Lizardmen. And they're going to try and come around the flanks and try and deal, you know, a little bit of damage to the forces of the Greenskins. But the Greenskins are going to get run down. The High Elves are going to get run down by this Greenskin cavalry. But that is definitely taking away forces from the main engagement. And because of that, you know, I don't know if the Lizardmen have much to really kind of in the way of anti-large to deal with this Arachnarok and to deal with the Giant. Especially with the abilities that they have. You know, the War, which gives 50 melee attack, is insane. It's just such a good augment. And they obviously have Stand Your Ground as well. Nice Comet of Cassandora coming down on top of all of the Greenskins. Going to be giving a lot of points. And at the moment, there's only 1,000 points in it. So honestly, I think whoever kind of is last man standing will win this battle. Because last man standing gets around about 4,000 points. For just being last man standing. So unless the person who's currently fighting can kind of get a few extra points, then I just don't know. I think it's going to definitely be between the Doomstream and Deadman, the Lizardmen and the Greenskins. But what an epic engagement this has been. Very, very impressed with it once again. I mean, we do actually see the Greenskin General dying, and that's going to be awful for the morale. But again, I guess there are just a lot of elite units still left remaining. You know, it's going to be very hard to see, you know, the Giant actually routing on the Black Orcs. And the Black Orcs are armor-piercing, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, armored and armor-piercing, and they're Juggernauts, so they are really tanky themselves. And they're currently surrounding around Kroq-Gar, so Kroq-Gar might actually be taken out here as well. I guess it's going to be up to the Temple Guard to try and deal with the damage to these Giants. Another Wind Blast going off. The Giant comes in and just slaps Kroq-Gar right into the side of his mount. The Arachnarok is actually routing soon, maybe? But it does look like that we're going to see Kroq-Gar running from the field of battle. That's going to be devastating to the morale, even though it's going to be devastating because there's quite a lot of skinks left. If it was just the Temple Guard, then wow, wouldn't really be an issue. But the fact that there's a lot of skinks left, we're just going to see the skinks routing as the cavalry comes flying in. I think the boys are going to win this one. Even though, look how close the battle is right now. There's literally a couple hundred points in it right now. Every single spell, every single unit is going to count in this battle. As we do see another Comet of Cassandora come flying down. And this Giant is just pounding. Even though the Giant is anti-infantry, he's still armor-piercing, and he does cause terror, which is going to be great at routing what remains of this army. And we also have a lot of the cavalry, and I think that's going to really help out the Greenskins in winning this, as they have all this cavalry left, all these boar boys. And we're going to come flying into the back of these ranks and just cause a real nice nuke kind of shock damage to the Temple Guard right there. More magic coming down this time. I think it's just going to be a debuff, or is this going to... Oh, there's another lightning strike coming down, a thunderbolt. More of the cavalry coming in. And I just don't know, because a lot of the infantry are also routing. This is going to be up to who routes the other person, because it's going to come down to last man standing for sure. As we have more cavalry coming in, hitting the enemy forces. I think the Lizardmen just don't have enough to stay around here. Obviously having Kroq-Gar being routed, but Kroq-Gar's actually come back, and Kroq-Gar's going to come flying into the back of these Orc Archer boys. This battle is too close to call right now. The Arachnarok is actually pushed back here to help out, and these Orc boys are actually charging after him. As Kroq-Gar comes in with one famous last charge, however, the Arachnarok Spider might be enough to take him down. I think he is. They're just going to straight up rout him. And I think if Kroq-Gar fully goes down, the Lizardmen army will rout him. Doomshroom will come out on top. Yeah, there we go. He's fully routed now, seeing a great jump in points for the forces of the Doomshroom. Lots of the other enemy are about to rout as well. And I think the Orcs have won this. The boys have come out on top in this epic Dark Elf arena. Just the last couple men to clear out. I think there's a few Temple Guard, but I think the battle is already sold. Unless maybe something, huge can happen. But I think losing the general, the amount of cavalry there are, it's just going to be a matter of time until we really start to see, already this ancient Stegodon is routing. I think it is literally going to be a matter of time until the rest of these units are broken. Obviously, the Temple Guard will bravely fight to the bitter end and maybe give themselves a few extra points. But the gap has changed to over 1,000, and it's just going to be these Stegodons, these priests left, which are still roaming the battlefield, and the Orcs are just going to have a field day killing them, breathing their gross breath down and cutting them apart. So what an awesome battle that was. Massive thank you to my Discord for sending this in, and obviously massive thank you to the modder for making this map. It was a really, truly spectacular free-for-all map, that is for sure. Make sure to go download it and rate it up in the comments down below. Kill-wise, we can see that the Doomshroom still had 33% of his army left remaining, and he won by 7,000 points, which is very, very impressive. And the rest of the armies, we can see if we look at the High Elf army first, we can see the Dragon Prince is doing a good job, 200 kills, and the Gate Guard kind of proving their worth. It was just kind of that the army was so split up, they definitely struggled. Then if we take a look at the Doomshroom's army, the army which won, we can see his Black Orcs doing a lot of damage, and also his cavalry, 226 kills, 136 right there, very, very nice indeed, and obviously 118 on the Black Orcs as well. The Lizardmen army, we can see a Kroq-Gar being a monster, as well as the Temple Guard, the Carnosaurs, and the Stegodons doing such a great job. And then finally, Lotus's army, really oh my lord, his Bright Wizard, 309 kills, really nice work on that. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. If you did, please go ahead and drop a like and a comment down below. It honestly really helps out the channel and I appreciate it. Also, make sure to go over and check out my Let's Play on the Mortal Empires campaign as Belegar Ironhammer. It's going to be an awesome campaign. I'm hoping going to be my favorite one yet. We're going to really role play it and it should be a lot of fun. So go over there, drop a like and a comment, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one, and fish out.